let's kick it to the Seattle Seahawks, who finished 10-7 last year in Mike McDonald's first year. I'm very high on this team. I think that they had, maybe not arguably,
This is a sneaky good division, huh?
it's a sneaky good division. I think that the Seahawks had my favorite draft again, and that's not always a sign of success to come. I get obsessed with very weird people during drafts, and as you did for some of our pre-draft episodes, that I loved Gray Zabel, I loved Jalen Milrow, and I think that both of them are going to factor in. And then they also took the kid from South Carolina that I think is going to really help their defense and diversify their defense. I mean, this team is really good. To me, I hate to put it in a similar way for Arizona. Well, actually, let's take a little bit of a detour. I think for me, the optimistic realistic is that you match last year's win total, that you get at least 10 wins. I think that you want to just find out on Darnold, because they did a good job at that contract. It's not a sink or swim contract.
Right.
You can get out of it if you need to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that you want to build some stability with that offensive staff. Ryan Grubb was a bad hire in year one. It was an outlier hire. I just don't think that he had the pro mentality with that offense. It just didn't look. There were just games where they looked lost offensively, right?
Yep.
But now you have Clint Kubiak in there. Jake Peetz has been there from the Rams, who I think is a really strong offensive mind there too. It's time to take off. I think it's time to play really well. And for me, 10 wins it's not the ceiling. I don't think this can't be an 11-win team.
Right.
But I think you just got to match last year's win total, and you got to look a little bit better and more consistent doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can sort of circle the area right around the center and say, like, this is going to determine whether this is like a 7-win team or a 10-win team. And it's Darnold, it's Oluwatimi at center. Presumably, we'll see if he wins the job there. Gray Zabel, Christian Haynes, it's like Anthony Bradford. It's guys like that. Like, it's because I actually think they're pretty good at the tackle position, but that in the interior of their offensive line just completely firebombed their season last year. And I think it's like a pretty well conceived roster. Otherwise, even Warriors. I know a lot of people are going to compare him to Cam Chancellor because it's Seattle, but I think that there's, at least the way that the Seahawks see it, there's a lot of Kyle Hamilton to what Mike McDonald's getting there, and that he's going to be able to use him that way, and you look at Byron Murphy, I think could wind up being a really good player in year two. And could he be the disruptive force you want in your front? DeMarcus Lawrence is going to come in with a hair across his ass. You got Boye Mafe still. You got Uchenna Nwosu. Like, it's even at spots where they're not overwhelmingly strong, they've got good depth and they've got competent players, and you can win that way. So I love some of the frontline guys. Like, I think Witherspoon is a stud. JSN, capably became their number one receiver last year. Charles Cross is the best left tackle in football that no one talks about. So I like their core. I like their balance. I like their depth. Like, I think that they're, again, if those four positions, the interior, offensive line, and quarterback, are taken care of, it can be like a 10-win team.
Here's my kind of bellwether for success for Seattle. You have you're likely going to face a rookie quarterback in week 3 with the Saints. You're likely going to face a year 2 quarterback in Jaden Daniels right after your bye. You're going to face Cam Ward in week 12. You're going to face JJ McCarthy in week 13. You're going to face Michael Penix in week 14. And you may face like Anthony Richardson, let's say, in week 15. In those games, you need to completely dress your opponent down, and you need to win those games, because that's why Mike McDonald was hired. He was hired with the promise that this defense would be nasty, it would be amoebic, and it would go toe-to-toe with some of the best offenses in the NFL. I'm not expecting you to sweep San Francisco. I'm not expecting you to sweep the Rams, But when you're facing a quarterback who has had less than 2 years of experience in the NFL, you should be able to win those games, because that, to me, I mean, Bill Belichick used to torture rookie quarterbacks. And I'm not comparing Mike McDonald to Bill Belichick, but I'm saying in this day and age, if you're hiring a defensive head coach, he needs to absolutely demolish young passers who have less than 2 years of experience in the NFL. I don't think that's unfair. I think you need
No.
to go 4-1 in those 5 games.
Yeah, and then you're halfway to 500 at least. Yeah.
Halfway there.